I know you talked about kind of wanting to see the defense respond with their hair on fire on the practice field. Have you seen that these first couple days?
Yeah, I thought so. Even in the good-on-good 7-on-7 period, I think they had 3 interceptions. You can feel the difference in the field. There's some high-energy stuff happening on the defensive side, and I think that's very natural, right? You don't get what you want, kind of picks up your level of focus and intensity. We just need that all the time. So a little bit more comfortable with the scheme that we're going against because you see it every day. But our guys need to go out there and execute, and I've seen it so far through the first couple of days of practice.
I want to ask specifically about on Chris Hudson's big little pop pass. Javinsky opens up that hole just by kind of throwing a block on the outside. How much have you seen his blocking improve, and maybe just the blocking of the entire running back room?
Well, I think there's many roles that you got to play, and we showed that exact play to the team. Coop had a great arc block there. Javinsky leads it up. Chris makes the play. Chris gets the notoriety, but there's so many guys, that do their job, and that's why we're successful. So the more that we can show that, the more that we can get our team to play that way, I think the better that we can become.
And then linebacker spot, you guys obviously rotated a lot of guys, keep them fresh, hot day, kind of the game flow maybe dictated that a little bit, but it seemed like every guy you put in made a play. I mean, Frank had a TFL, sure. Keith and Wes made plays, Parker made plays. How much do you feel like that is maybe a bit of a shift from last year when you didn't maybe have that depth, and now we're talking 6-7 guys deep?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just a little bit of consistency. We went into the plan that we want to see all these guys, so as we go forward, we can see who we can rely on in big spots. Frank actually came in and played extremely well. Parker, I think, graded out the best, just as far as doing his role and his job. He brings a great physicality to that room. And you're right, it is a luxury because last year one injury would have really derailed us. So I think we had 3 guys that were really trusted to go in there. So big deal. All those guys are playing special teams, so they're high-volume guys.
With you guys in tech, it seems like there's some overlap in terms of the approach to the offense. Like, how similar are you guys' offenses, and is that an advantage for you guys in any way?
Well, I think it's the exact same. Ben, really studied under their offensive coordinator. I think they call things the same. They signal things the same. I said it kind of on Monday. It's going to be about execution. I think we're very familiar with it. But at the same time, what makes this offense hard is every week is different. You see something one week and you could practice it and it's completely different and a new formation shift in motion. So we just got to communicate. I don't know if it's as much about the plays as it is getting the line and getting your eyes right. And then you got to be able to make plays down the field on the ball. I think Texas Tech maybe pushes it down the field slightly more than we do. So we got to be able to combat that and go make some plays.
Pretty unique, circumstances in that way. Does that change, your approach? Not your approach on offense, but are you making any, small changes to kind of change it up a little bit?
Well, I think it's all different. I mean, obviously, having our past O-line coach there, we changed up all our signals, what we call everything. I think that's natural. I would imagine they did the same things. So it's just one of those things where don't overthink it either, right? Coaches, you can be paranoid about every little thing. It's still going to come down to who can block, run, tackle, and play better in the fourth quarter.
Do you still keep in touch with Josh at all, or you kind of let him do his thing at Tech?
No, I don't keep in touch with guys that are playing on other teams. I think that's illegal.
For sure. I didn't mean it that way, but just, friends maybe. What do you – I know it's more of a common thing these days in college football. is that, an advantage for you in any way, just facing a former player, or is that just the way it goes?
No advantage. It is what it is. We've done it in the past, and we'll be ready and probably have to do it in the future.
Obviously, Texas Tech, one element of their game that maybe isn't looked at as much is the special teams, with especially kick returning, one of the most productive last year in week 1. I'm just wondering with that, is it as simple as just wanting to kick it out of the back of the end zone, or is there more involved kind of with the strategizing that?
So they have a weapon in their return game, and we have a weapon in Ryan Harris. They brought one out 9 deep last week. That's a big risk. It worked out for them, but I think their return unit has been one of the best in the country. So obviously you got to have a calculated plan to combat that. But our plan is to let Ryan go out there and bomb the ball out the end zone, which I think he's capable of. I think he did that 7 out of 11 kickoffs last week or something. So we got something to combat that, and it's a really good kickoff guy.
So Tech, with Josh and company, can really move the ball down the field. How confident are you in your corners, Steve, Ethan, and everyone else, that they can step up to the plate?
Yeah, I just want to be real clear. We're playing Texas Tech offense. It ain't about a former player. They got a lot of guys, that can go out there and hurt you. So we got to be ready to go. What was your question again?
How confident are you that your corners can step up and stop Josh and
well,
everybody else?
I think they have. I think they've done it. They go against great receivers every day, and I think that's a big emphasis. We did a lot more good on good than we would normally, just because there's so many similarities, and they got to go make those plays. But part of accepting the responsibility of being a corner is that you're going to give up some. Right, so I just want to see those guys constantly respond, because I know we got 2 playmakers out there at corner, and I think Warren's going to be ready when his number's called.
And then with your edges and your defensive line, obviously that you talked about physicality and needing to see that, and how have they responded to that challenge? And
Well, I think this is the best way I know how to help the corners. Go out there and rush the passer, because when number 2 is comfortable, I mean it. He is so accurate with his feet. He scrambles to throw, although he can run, and they'll use him in some run situations. So we got to affect the quarterback, and that isn't always sacks. It's moving him off his spot, it's hits, it's hurries, it's a lot of different things just to make sure he's not comfortable, because when he's comfortable, it's very dangerous.
You mentioned Ryan, and obviously he was quite good last week. I mean, it seems like every kick was out of the back of the end zone. Was the plan always for him to be the kickoff guy, or did that change when Nick wasn't available?
No, we brought him in to be the kickoff guy. And if he wasn't, that means he wasn't what we thought he was, but he's exactly what we thought he was. So we scouted him to kick off and take over that Dickert spot, because, I want Dean Fresh to put the ball between the uprights.
And then just kind of in regard to Nick, kind of an update on him, and then anyone else you're not expecting to have this weekend?
Kind of some game time decisions there. We'll see kind of how it responds. He's doing a ton of treatment. Dre Williams kind of questionable off the last couple plays there, but other than that, like I said, our starters played about 50 snaps. It's got to be an advantage. I've seen them be a little bit more fresh than a normal game day, so we got to go out there and attack it.
And then if Dre can't go, do you move Jalen Edmond back to that second nickel spot?
Oh, no. No, we're going to keep Jalen kind of outside. I think we've repped Jackson inside. Ko Patu has come up with the older guys. So, Jackson's a luxury, because he's putting 2 years of work already at that position. So this is a game Penna's going to roll, because it's a lot of, 10 and 11 personnel, and that is his strength, and he's beyond ready for that challenge.